want to get you some perspective now from Ibrahim, who is Communications Director of the Council for American Islamic Relations, joining us from Washington. Sir, thank you. Over 6,000 people have signed an online petition asking the Obama administration to declare these shootings a terrorist attack. Now, I know your National Executive Director is in Chapel Hill meeting the victims' family members. Any more detail that they have shared with your organization that might help with a motive at this point?
I think the main detail that the family members shared with us is that this was not the first instance of interaction with this alleged killer. They say that he appeared at their door on a number of occasions in the past while armed. So they had expressed fear of this individual using the terms hater, hate-filled, that he hated them because of who they were as Muslims. I mean, you have to remember that two of the victims here wore headscarves or hijab, and that this individual, as your report indicated, had posted anti-religion, anti-Muslim statements on Facebook. He had posted an image of a loaded weapon that he possessed on Facebook. And the nature of this crime, I find it hard to believe that 3 people would be shot in the head, execution style, over a parking space without other factors being involved. It is possible that it could have been triggered by a parking issue and be a hate crime. They're not mutually exclusive.
Ibrahim, let me just get you what the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of North Carolina, Ripley Rand, had to say on this. He issued a statement saying, and I quote, "The events of yesterday are not part of a targeted campaign against Muslims. I did want to address some comments made on social media about that and to make sure people know that this appears at this point to have been an isolated incident." There has been, though, an awful lot of concern, it seems, doesn't it, on social media.
Nobody was claiming. No one was claiming that it was part of a targeted campaign against Muslims. They were wondering whether this individual was motivated by hate, and there's strong suspicion that he was. And it's disturbing to the American Muslim community and Muslim community worldwide that there seem to be attempts to minimize this tragedy, to somehow almost excuse it. Oh, well, you know, it was just a parking spot. No, move along, nothing to see here. Well, 3 people were shot in the head, execution style, by a guy who expressed anti-Muslim views in a time when anti-Muslim hate rhetoric is just growing exponentially in our society. I mean, personally, myself, since the attack on the Charlie Hebdo office, since the recent brutalities of ISIS, I personally have received dozens and dozens of hate calls, hate emails, and a number of threats that have been reported to the FBI, and that's just me. So you can imagine how this is being replicated in the larger society.
Let's just get some sound from the father of the 2 women who were killed. He told CNN that he believes the murders were a hate crime. Have a listen.
My daughter, Yusur, honest to God, told us on more than 2 occasions that this man came knocking at the door and fighting about everything with a gun on his belt more than twice. She told us, "Daddy, I think he hates us for who we are and how we look."
Very sad. Sir, what happens next at this point? What do you understand to be the next steps to be taken by authorities?
Well, I think the authorities are handling it well as far as the criminal investigation. He has been charged with 3 counts of murder in the first degree. You really can't get much more than that. And I think what we've seen nationwide is these vigils and events honoring the lives of these 3 exemplary individuals. I mean, the last Facebook post of the male victim was about helping the homeless people in his area get dental care. So these were, as one of our people said, the best of America. And we've seen vigils spring up around the country. In fact, this evening in Washington, D.C., there's a vigil in DuPont Circle. So, and these are spontaneous things that are just springing up all over. Thousands of people turned out last night for a vigil in Chapel Hill to honor these victims.
Yeah, and we're showing images of that vigil as we speak. Ibrahim, it's a pleasure having you on. Thank you, sir. As
Thank you.
Ibrahim and Jason Carroll reported, Dair Barakat had set up a relief effort of his own for Syrian refugees. He was raising money to provide dental care in camps that have sprung up in Turkey. He noted on a website he established that even basic supplies at clinics are stretched, facing as many as 1,500 patients a month. If you want to get involved, we've set up a link to Barakat's fundraising page. You can find that at cnn.com/impact, cnn.com/impact.